Ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks into the new year, and I have to ask you, what the hell have you done with it so far? How many of you swore up and down on January 1st that you'd hit the gym, start that side hustle, or finally take charge of your damn life? And now, 2 weeks in, and you're probably already slipping back into the same pathetic routines you promised yourself you'd escape from. Here's a harsh truth. Your father's legacy is dying. The question is, are you going to let it die, or are you going to fight like hell to save it? Before I rip into why we're here, let me tell you this. Everything I'm about to say is going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to sting, and I want you to feel every bit of that sting. But before we even get into it, check the links in the description below. Seriously, pause this damn video, scroll down, and take a look. You'll thank me later. Now, let's get into it. A legacy of strength. What happened to it? Your fathers, grandfathers, and great-grandfathers built this country. They fought wars, worked brutal jobs, and raised families in a world that demanded resilience. They didn't have the luxury to sit on their asses and scroll through social media, complaining about how unfair life was. Back then, masculinity wasn't a bad word, it was a standard. Men were protectors, providers, and warriors. They didn't need safe spaces or hashtags, they needed grit. Today, what do we have? Men afraid to speak up, afraid to take risks, afraid to offend someone. You've been sold a lie, that masculinity is toxic, that ambition is oppressive, and that your role as a man is to step aside and apologize for existing. And you bought it, hook, line, and sinker. Let me ask you, do you think your father or his father would recognize the man you've become? Or would they shake their heads in disappointment? The weakening of the modern man. Look around you. Weakness is being celebrated. The guy who can't stand up for himself is called sensitive. The guy who works himself into the ground to provide for his family is labeled toxic. And God forbid you have a backbone. Suddenly, you're the bad guy. Modern society is tearing down everything your father stood for. It's demonizing strength, ambition, and the ability to endure hardship. Why? Because weak men are easier to control. A man who doesn't know his own power is no threat to anyone. But you know what's worse? You're letting them do it. Every time you stay silent when someone trashes your values, you let them win. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you betray your father's legacy. Every time you make an excuse instead of making progress, you let another piece of your heritage die. Why you feel empty? Be honest with yourself. Are you truly happy with the life you're living? Or do you feel like something's missing? That emptiness isn't a mystery. It's the result of ignoring your instincts as a man. You're wired to lead, to fight, and to build. When you suppress that, when you trade your purpose for mindless entertainment and passive existence, you kill your soul. And that emptiness you feel, that's your legacy screaming for you to wake the hell up. This isn't about them, it's about you. Stop blaming society, your boss, or your parents for where you are in life. This isn't about what's happening out there. This is about you and the choices you make every single day. You don't like your job? Find a better one. You're out of shape? Get your ass to the gym. Your relationship sucks? Be the man who fixes it or walks away. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. If you're waiting for permission to chase greatness, here it is. Get off your ass and fight for it. The legacy you're leaving behind. Think about the next generation, if you have kids or plan to someday. What kind of world are you leaving them? Are you passing down a legacy of strength, courage, and discipline? Or are you setting them up to be just as lost and weak as so many men today? Your actions today determine your legacy tomorrow. Will your kids look at you with pride, knowing you fought for something greater than yourself? Or will they inherit your excuses, your regrets, and your failures? The battle you must fight. Let me be clear, reclaiming your legacy isn't easy. It's a fight. But it's a fight worth having. It means waking up earlier, working harder, and refusing to settle for mediocrity. It means standing up for your values, even when it's uncomfortable. It means leading by example, not by words. And it starts now, not tomorrow, not next week. Closing the gap. Look, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but if you've made it this far, I think you already know what needs to change. Deep down, you know you're capable of more. So what's stopping you? I'll tell you. Fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. But here's the thing about fear. It's a coward. It only has power if you let it. Reclaim your identity. It's time to take back what's yours, your strength, your ambition, your identity as a man. Stop living for other people's approval and start living for your own damn standards. Society doesn't want you to hear this. They want you to conform, to play nice, and to stay quiet. But screw that. You're not here to fit in. You're here to stand out. So here's my challenge to you. Go out and prove yourself wrong. Show yourself what you're capable of. Break the cycle of weakness, excuses, and mediocrity. And remember, your father's legacy is in your hands. You can either let it die or make it immortal. The choice is yours. Now, one last thing. Those links in the description, they're there for a reason. If you're serious about turning your life around, check them out. They could be the kick in the ass you need. The clock is ticking. What the hell are you waiting for? Thank you.